Canelo, don't run away from this. You already ran away from the Benavidez fight. All right, you don't care what people have to say about you anyway.
New time to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next.
Everyone keeps talking about the weight. That's all I'm saying. Oh, he gonna knock him out. When the hell was the last time Canelo knocked somebody out? Big, little, small.
Boxing pros have called out Canelo Alvarez for ducking a fight with Terence Crawford. Tim Bradley isn't pulling any punches. This week, the ex-boxing champion lit up his YouTube channel with a bold message aimed directly at Canelo, challenging the unified super middleweight star to quit dodging and grant Crawford the fight he's been demanding. Bradley's message rang out unmistakably. The fans crave this showdown, and Crawford has earned his chance at glory. Yet let's face it, does this matchup truly add up? Bradley claims that Canelo has a duty to boxing fans to arrange this bout. Bradley stated that Canelo had already avoided the fight with Benavidez and urged him to arrange a fight with Crawford, emphasizing that it was the match everyone wanted to see. He refuted the notion that Canelo's size and strength would overpower Crawford, emphasizing that Canelo began his professional journey at 147 pounds and shares the same height as Crawford.
I mean, you're walking around Mexico, walking around, California, San Diego, wherever you live, wherever you reside. I don't know where you reside, to be honest with you. But you obviously don't care about what people say or what people think about you by not taking that fight. So why should you care about what people say about you for not taking the Crawford fight? Don't use that as an excuse. Make the fight, my man. Make the fight with Crawford. That's a fight that everybody wants to see you face, right? And it's going to give Crawford an opportunity to show you his greatness, show the entire world his greatness. Now, everyone keeps talking about the weight. That's all I'm saying. Oh, he going to knock him out. When the hell was the last time Canelo knocked somebody out? Big, little, small. He ain't knocked nobody out.
Bradley's point may be bold, but it's hard to deny that this matchup would ignite serious excitement. On one side, you have Canelo, the sport's brightest icon with an impressive February 2nd 62 record and 39 knockouts. On the other, there's Crawford, unbeaten in 41 fights with 31 knockouts, widely regarded as one of the most technically gifted boxers of his era. Here's where the waters get murky. Crawford's most recent bout with Israel Mamov didn't exactly bolster his reputation. While he walked away with the victory, it wasn't the commanding performance fans have come to expect. He absorbed far too many right hands and seemed noticeably off his usual sharp game. For Canelo, the motivation to accept this bout seems minimal. He's already demonstrated his prowess against larger, more powerful rivals, leaving little left to prove. Meanwhile, Crawford hasn't put in the groundwork to justify a shot at 168 pounds. Skeptics contend that if Crawford truly desired this matchup, he would first need to face top-tier contenders like David Benavidez or Artur Beterbiev to show he belongs among the sport's elite at that weight.
What was that? Ryder, was it? Was it Ryder? Did he even knock Ryder out? No, he didn't even knock him out. He ain't knocked no Ryder. He ain't knocked no Berlanga out. When was the last time Canelo Alvarez knocked anybody out? So y'all saying, oh, he didn't knock no baby Charlo out. He didn't knock the little Charlo out. He didn't knock him out. So y'all can quit with that, talking about he gonna knock Crawford out. Come on, man. Stop it. Please stop it. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Ain't that what the young folks say? Stop the cap. Yeah, stop it already. Yo, didn't we just see somebody just fight a guy that was, quote unquote, 50 pounds heavier? Yes.
Boxing enthusiasts find themselves divided. Some are captivated by the prospect of a skill versus power clash between two elite fighters of their era. Others, however, point to Crawford's advancing age and his limited exposure to heavier divisions, casting doubts on whether this contest will truly be competitive. When it's all said and done, Canelo has nothing left to prove. His legacy as one of boxing's all-time greats is already secured, and numerous paths lie ahead for him. On the other hand, if Crawford genuinely hopes to step into the ring with Canelo, he may need to navigate a more difficult route to demonstrate he's earned his place. For the time being, this campaign feels more like a dream than a reality, but Tim Bradley may continue to advocate for it. The boxing community eagerly anticipates the announcement of Canelo Alvarez's next challenger, with the superstar confirming that his upcoming bout is planned for May. Among the potential contenders for the Jalisco boxer, familiar names Terence Crawford and David Benavidez have resurfaced, though these matchups seem more like the industry's wishful thinking than part of Saul Alvarez's actual plans. More recently, William Skull has entered the conversation, claiming that negotiations for a fight are underway. Regarding this matter, Canelo has remained silent on the talks surrounding a potential showdown with the Cuban, who is set to enter the ring as the IBF champion. This is the same organization that stripped the Mexican of his super middleweight title last September after he declined to face Skull, the IBF's mandatory challenger at the time. Aside from the potential matchups for his May fight, Saul Alvarez has few contenders in mind for his first bout of 2025, particularly within the super middleweight division. Though rising talents like France's Christian Mbili and Diego Pacheco are gaining attention, the current crop of potential challengers still falls short of possessing the stature needed to truly challenge for supremacy in the 168-pound division. In this context, Terence Crawford's name appears to carry more media weight compared to the others mentioned. However, he competes in the super welterweight division, placing him below the super middleweight category. For Alvarez to pursue a business opportunity, the clear choice is Terence Crawford. Although Crawford competes at 154 pounds, which might pose a challenge for the 37-year-old Alvarez, the financial backing from Sheikh Turki Al-Sheikh strengthens the case for the fight.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just,
Oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Majimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
Canelo Alvarez is rumored to face Crawford. The fight has yet to be confirmed, and if it were to happen, Canelo would face significant criticism for taking it. Crawford, who competes 2 weight classes lower at 154 pounds, has no experience at 168 and is coming off a narrow decision victory in his first bout at junior middleweight. Canelo Alvarez, the reigning superstar, is set to make his comeback in May, aiming to defend his 3 168-pound titles. To maintain the impressive PPV numbers he's generated in his prime, he will need a worthy opponent, one that excites fans and fuels the demand for his high-profile bouts. Turki Al-Sheikh is said to be keen on a potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and WBA 154-pound champion Terence Crawford. Canelo, however, has reportedly demanded a $150 million payday for the fight against Crawford, a sum that may exceed what Turkey is prepared to offer, especially since Crawford has yet to establish himself as a significant pay-per-view attraction. This clash would spark intense interest among dedicated boxing enthusiasts who are familiar with the 37-year-old Crawford. However, the casual fan may be less aware of him, as his 16-year career has seen only one major spotlight event, the 2023 Showdown with Errol Spence. The leading contenders in the 168-pound division are largely unknown to casual boxing fans, even compared to Crawford. Several of them pose a potential threat to the 34-year-old Canelo, thanks to their size, youth, and knockout power. Canelo's difficult performance against the relatively inexperienced Edgar Berlanga in their September 14th bout indicates that he must exercise greater caution in choosing his future opponents. Canelo avoided facing David Benavidez and David Morrell during their time at 168, despite them being more suitable challengers than a small, aging, and inexperienced Terence Crawford. However, fighting Benavidez or Morrell posed far greater risks for Canelo than taking on Crawford. Back in the ring, everything points to Saul Canelo Alvarez's first fight in May or June 2025. Although his opponent has not yet been confirmed, people expect him to face Terence Crawford, reports Televisa Puebla on X. Only time will reveal if a showdown between Canelo and Crawford will materialize, with updates on the success of negotiations anticipated in the near future. Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn has relentlessly hyped up the idea that a showdown between the overhyped, sheltered, and strategically handled British heavyweights Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is the most commercially significant fight in boxing. Fans outside the UK are more eager to witness genuine bouts featuring Canelo Alvarez against Terence Crawford, David Benavidez, Artur Beterbiev, or Dmitry Bivol. These matchups involve fighters who are still near their prime, offering much more competitive action. Mike Coppinger of ESPN argues that a Canelo-Crawford showdown holds more weight than a Fury-Joshua clash. He suggests the fight could generate 1 million PPV buys in the US alone, a figure that's certainly within reach. In fact, it would likely surpass the US PPV numbers of a Fury versus Joshua bout. However, Canelo-Crawford wouldn't be Canelo's biggest draw. A face-off with David Benavidez would eclipse that. Though Canelo seems reluctant to take on the Mexican monster, Crawford stands as the top contender at the moment, and his bout is still far more significant than a clash between the Gypsy King and AJ. Both Fury and Joshua are coming off losses. Joshua was knocked out by Daniel Dubois, while Fury suffered 2 consecutive defeats at the hands of Alexander Usyk. Given these dismal outcomes, how can promoters like Hearn push a Fury versus Joshua fight on pay-per-view, branding it as the biggest fight in boxing? The Fury-Joshua matchup is all about one thing: cash, both for the fighters and the promoters. Attempting to hype a fight between them at this point in their careers will only resonate with fans in the UK, and even that feels forced. The British audience is likely to embrace it, eager to tune in and willing to pay any price to see their legendary icons make a return in their twilight years. Meanwhile, US viewers are expected to show little interest, particularly if the underdog's lineup is filled with low-tier fighters, akin to the Fury versus Alexander Usyk 2 card, or the Joshua versus Daniel Dubois matchups. Canelo-Crawford is much bigger commercially, miles bigger. It will easily eclipse 1 million PPV buys in the US at $80 or around there, and will pull in a gate above $20 million. Sorry, Eddie Hearn, said Mike Coppinger on X. A decade ago, a Joshua-Fury matchup might have generated some buzz, but even then, its appeal would have been largely confined to the UK. Neither fighter faced the most formidable competition throughout their careers. The core issue lies in the fact that both AJ and Fury fought in an era of heavyweight boxing that lacked true depth. They had no trouble feeding off veterans like Deontay Wilder, the 40-year-old Vladimir Klitschko, Alexander Povetkin, and Kubrat Pulev. But when a formidable new challenger like Martin Bakole appeared, they steered clear, unwilling to face him. When Bud fought back in August, he challenged Israel Madrimov for his WBA super welterweight title, lifting 154 pounds for the first time. The battle was fiercely contested, with Crawford enduring a challenge unlike any he's faced before in his career. However, he ultimately secured a hard-earned unanimous decision, claiming the title and adding a 4th world championship to his illustrious record. A potential showdown between Canelo and Crawford may be on the horizon, with Bud expressing his readiness to ascend 2 more weight classes for a clash at 168 pounds. Canelo observed the showdown between Crawford and Madrimov, but his reaction appeared underwhelming. When asked for his opinion, he offered a brief 2-word assessment to Fight Hype, leaving little to the imagination. Canelo went on to describe what he believes Crawford will have learned from the confrontation with Madrimov. He said, "I think he knows why there's weight classes there, right? He make a good fight, but for me I think he lost the fight. Or draw. It could have been the other side." Recently, rumors of a potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford took the internet by storm. Though no official details have emerged, the speculation quickly gained momentum, with major boxing outlets echoing the same exciting possibilities. Several hours later, ES News posted a video on their YouTube channel delving into the rumors and tracing their source. Boxing insider and ES News founder Ali Sekbak also discussed the potential fight date, speculating that it could become the most significant event Las Vegas has ever witnessed. Sekbak acknowledged that the news regarding the possible clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is everywhere. However, he couldn't find the source. He added, "I can't find anyone who started this rumor, and I went to a lot of legitimate news outlets, but no one has mentioned it." The insider claims that since there is no verified source, this is still only a rumor that has spread widely. Nevertheless, he did not rule out the chance of the fight taking place, suggesting it remains a possibility. Sekbak also stated that the rumored $250 million payout could have influenced Canelo Alvarez's decision to consider a bout with Terence Crawford. The February 2nd 62 boxer has consistently dismissed rumors about a potential showdown with Bud, citing the weight class disparity between them. However, numerous reports suggest that the Omaha native is among those considered for a spot on Canelo's Cinco de Mayo fight card, placing this matchup around May. According to additional reports, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is determined to see this fight take place and plans to bring it to Las Vegas, specifically to the T-Mobile Arena, a venue that has long been Canelo's domain. The speculation grew stronger after the unified super middleweight champion made a recent comment about a potential showdown with Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez, the Guadalajara native, has consistently turned down the idea of facing Bud for various reasons. Yet, during a conversation on Sway's Universe a few months ago, he seemed to imply a shift in his stance, expressing a surprising level of enthusiasm for the matchup. The 34-year-old declared, "I'm in. Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money, claiming that he won't shy away from facing Terence Crawford for the right amount of money. Canelo further revealed his reason for rejecting Bud all those times and what has changed now. If the money is right, I'm in because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford. He moves a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw in his last fight, and he doesn't move that much now. So if the money is right, I'm in right now, stating how Crawford's elusive fighting style has influenced his decision. In 2024, Crawford moved up from 147 pounds to 154 pounds, stepping into the light middleweight division in pursuit of a title in a fourth weight class. He squared off against Israel Madrimov in Los Angeles for the WBA super welterweight title and secured a unanimous decision victory. Yet, it wasn't his most dominant display. The adjustment to the increased weight was evident as he struggled to find his rhythm in the new class. Who could have predicted that this lackluster showing would sway Canelo's decision and finally grant Bud his long-desired opportunity? Yet, the path ahead remains far from straightforward. The undefeated boxer, standing at 41-0, will still need to climb 2 weight classes to level the playing field with Canelo, unless they opt to face off at a catchweight. Although there's no verified source backing the news, this fight has gained more attention than it has in ages. Additionally, Alvarez's shift in demeanor has sparked a renewed sense of optimism among fans.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
Roy Jones Jr., a legendary figure in the world of boxing, continues to stay deeply involved in guiding the careers of the sport's rising stars. Notably, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez have emerged as 2 of the premier pound-for-pound talents in the sport today. The prospect of a showdown between these 2 elite fighters has sparked the excitement and anticipation of boxing enthusiasts around the globe. During an interview with Mill City Boxing, Jones Jr. offered his take on the potential matchup. Although he acknowledged Crawford's remarkable abilities and technical prowess, the boxing icon ultimately favored Canelo as the likely victor. I like Terence, but I'm going to lean towards Canelo with his size early. But if he lets Terence get into the fight, Terence is going to be a problem. If Terence can deal with the size, he will beat him. Jones Jr. emphasized the importance of Canelo's punching power as a decisive factor in the fight. Jones Jr. said, "That's what I'm saying. We don't know until we see Terence get hit, because we haven't seen him get hit with that power. That's the deciding factor. If you can change Bud's fight plan, you've got a chance of beating him. But if you can't hurt him, you can't change his fight plan and you've got problems." This analysis highlights Crawford's challenge of countering Canelo's legendary power. Should Crawford rely on his superior technical boxing and manage to evade Canelo's crushing blows, he may have the opportunity to secure a monumental upset. Although a showdown between Canelo and Crawford continues to be a fan's fantasy, Canelo Alvarez is presently concentrating on gearing up for his upcoming fight. IBF interim title holder William Skull has surfaced as a potential challenger. For the time being, the boxing world must remain in suspense, wondering if this eagerly awaited clash will come to fruition. In the meantime, the idea of 2 pound-for-pound legends facing off in the ring keeps sparking conversations and thrilling fans worldwide. With the weight of expectation moderated by size discrepancy, speculation regarding the potential of a 2 pound-for-pound blockbuster Canelo vs. Crawford showdown is growing rapidly. Meanwhile, Sean Gibbons, president of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, recently attended the WBC's inaugural media extravaganza of the year, which concluded with an exciting grand draw raffle. Reflecting on a potential showdown between Canelo and Bud, he envisions it as a crowd-drawing spectacle with the potential for explosive success. Yet, he acknowledges a key challenge lurking beneath the surface: the puzzle of weight, both in terms of physical limits and towering expectations, that must be carefully weighed, balanced, and ultimately solved. As he put it, "I think Terence Crawford has the right attitude. He believes in himself. He thinks he can get it done. But for me personally, there are weight divisions in boxing, and pound for pound in his divisions we have seen what Crawford can do. At 154, he struggled a little. At 168, I have my doubts about it being just too big." He further added, "I watched Jermell Charlo and other big guys at 154, and Canelo made them look like featherweights. I love Terence Crawford for his desire to take a challenge like this, but it ain't going to be David versus Goliath. David slayed Goliath. This one, it'll be Goliath slaying David. On the other hand, Errol Spence Jr. expressed that a fight between Crawford and Canelo could happen and saw no reason why it shouldn't. He said that if Crawford wanted to challenge himself to achieve greatness, he should go for it, adding that he would support Bud in such a fight. While Spence admitted he wasn't sure if Crawford would win or lose, he believed Crawford had the potential to pull it off, as he was chasing greatness. He also pointed out that Canelo had moved up to 175 to face Kovalev and Bivol, so there was no reason why Crawford, who started at 147, couldn't do the same.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, you know. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm with it. So, you know, I'll be going for Bud, you know, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off.
Yeah. You know,
He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
The most recent fighter to share his opinions on a possible 2025 bout between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is Demetrius Andrade. Crawford, widely considered the best in boxing, is about to face the most formidable challenge of his career, stepping up 2 weight classes to battle another pound-for-pound icon. In his assessment of the fight, Andrade, who was frequently connected to a fight with Canelo, thinks Crawford would have a difficult time. "I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We reach out to each other. We've been traveling the world through the amateur program. He saw me beat people up. I saw him beat people up. I think the stories could go on, but when it comes to weight empowerment, that is real," said Andrade when speaking to Fight Hub TV. He further added, "Canelo is a big bad wolf, and he can run the whole night. I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to Saul getting shots and blocking his power shots, Canelo knows how to move too. He has agility, not like a robot. I mean, it's going to be tough. I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, but I still think he can give him a good fight, and I'll be sitting there fuming for Canelo all day." Alexis Rocha, an emerging welterweight star under Golden Boy Promotions, has sparred with both Canelo Alvarez and Terence "Bud" Crawford. Despite his admiration for Crawford's impressive showing at 154 pounds, Rocha harbors doubts about a potential clash between the two. He commended Bud for his skills, but also voiced concerns regarding Canelo, even going so far as to predict the outcome of such a fight. The 27-year-old appeared on ES News for an interview. Rocha talked candidly about his sparring experiences with Crawford and Canelo. "Canelo is the best of the best," he acknowledged. But he also expressed concern for the unified super middleweight champion by saying, "But he's also getting old," suggesting that he may not have much time left to dominate. Regarding Bud, Rocha described how the 37-year-old does not receive the recognition he merits despite being older than Canelo Alvarez. According to the California native, "I think Madrimov is one of the best 154-pounders out there, and to defeat him in his first match at the super welterweight division is an impressive feat for Terence Crawford. No one knows of Israel Madrimov, but if you see him, pay attention to him. You see the awkwardness, you see the strength. That guy is freaking strong," stated Rocha. "It's an accomplishment to beat him in a title fight. Your first fight at 154, and Crawford performed admirably." The 25-2 fighter then turned his attention to Crawford and Alvarez's possible bout and revealed his pick for the victor. While defending Crawford for wanting the fight, he explained, Crawford, also has a good size to him where he has that reach, he has that boxing IQ. That's the most important thing when it comes to the boxing game. I think Crawford will hold his own very well in that fight. He still went with the unified middleweight champion to defeat Crawford, though. He added, "I will lean a little more towards Canelo, given the fact that he's more experienced, and he has been in there with bigger guys." So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.